This is all the wiring from the Cadillac that I didn't need. What is up, Rapid Potential YouTube, and welcome to today's video. I'm building the ultimate, reasonably affordable, comfortable tow rig. So behind me is a 2003 Chevrolet Silverado 3500. This one is a very rare bird though. So this is a four-wheel drive ZF6 Duramax diesel. It's a 2003, like I said. It has been cat-eye front end swapped with my Cadillac touches. And the CaddyMAX is being born because I bought a Cadillac Escalade and I'm swapping everything out of the Escalade into my Duramax diesel. So mine is an extended cab truck. It's actually got some really neat options, or at least how it was built from the factory. This truck has a vinyl floor, it has cloth seats, it has power heated mirrors, in addition to power windows and power locks, plus the ZF6 6-speed manual. So what you see I have completed already is I redid the headliner in a previous video whenever I was doing injectors and getting this thing all built. I've been driving this truck for a year, and I've got the Cadillac dash swapped into my truck. So the nice dash cap with the wood trim, the stereo surround with the wood trim. I swapped the vents and the airbag over because the gray from the Cadillac kind of swipes through here. I've got the Cadillac door cards with the Bose speakers. I was hoping the Bose speakers wouldn't be blown, but they like to party in this old Cadillac, so I've got one blown speaker from the Bose stuff. I really want, and that's the point of this video, to make the factory heated seat controls, so right here in the door on both sides, I really want those functions to work in addition to the memory function on the driver's side seat. So, the Cadillac seats. It took a long time for me to find a donor Cadillac Escalade that had a gray interior. Most of the Cadillac stuff is all tan, and I didn't really want to have to deal with like SEM vinyl painting my interior. So, I've got pewter gray Cadillac seats. Passenger seat, pretty good shape. The seat heater actually worked in that one in the Cadillac. I bought a full running and driving Cadillac to take apart. The driver's seat is a little rougher. So, foam, still in really good shape. It's actually, honestly, a little bit deteriorated on this side. But I've got new seat covers from the seat shop and a new heating element for this seat that we are also going to install in this video. So, we're going to be swapping these seats into the truck, getting everything going. I'm not putting in the center console. With my truck being a 6-speed stick shift, I did not want the center console, so I will be installing my original 40-20-40 split bench, which has the fold-up console over there. So I've got to get a new lid for it because mine's all cracked, but we're just going to rock the dark gray console lid with the light gray seats with the light gray door panels, the dark, light, semi-darker old truck dash bottom, because the console trucks have a different glove box piece that the console can go through here. So it's kind of just like, it's the CaddyMAX. It's going to be its own thing. As you can see, it's gray wrapped over red with the flatbed. The truck's just kind of everything put together to be a really nice truck, and that's really the whole goal. I did not want to spend $70,000 on a newer truck with a little bit less miles, only to be spending the same amount of money per year putting the amount of miles that I intend to put on it on the vehicle. I bought this one, I replaced the injectors, got everything dialed on the engine side. The truck only has 200,000 miles on it when I bought it. We're at 258,000 now, so about 40,000 miles in a year. I did a clutch, throwout bearing, so we're good all there. I did break my transfer case, but it's still not fixed, and I don't have low range, but that's okay. We'll get it fixed eventually. But effectively, I'm into this truck for around 20 grand, including purchase price, including doing injectors, and including the Cadillac stuff. So I parted out the Cadillac, got basically all of my money back, so I got my seats and the wiring stuff that you need to do this swap effectively for free. The dash, I really wasn't hunting for the dash, but GMC Denali's are really hard to get. And the Cadillacs were just, if I could find the right silver one and I could get a Caddy, well then we might as well have the Cadillac steering wheel, the dash with all the wood trim, and it's just going to look super trick. So that's what I did. But let's dive into the more hard to fathom things that you guys are hunting for to learn to understand about doing this Cadillac heated seats, etc. swap in your truck. This is all the wiring from the Cadillac that I didn't need. Alright, so I'm in the process of deciphering and building what I'm going to call a custom harness for the seats and such in my truck. With my truck being simple, I did not have power seats. However, I'm surprised to find out that in the factory connector to my non-power seats, there's actually a power wire and a ground. So most likely, if you put a power driver seat in your truck, at least mine being a semi kind of weird base model, the power seat would have probably worked, which would have been nice. But I want the heated seats to work with the factory controls. So hooking up the doors and such, all of the mirror stuff, power mirrors, I think everything is programmed into my body control module already, such that these power heated seats are going to work. If not, I'll have to look at that. But most likely, if it doesn't work at the end of this video, I'm probably just going to buy an aftermarket seat heater kit and hook that up to my factory seat elements. But here's my process in building this harness. So, under your dash, you are going to have this white plastic plug. Now, mine, I have added some wires, which I'm going to show you how to do and which ones I'm adding here in a second. But this plug plugs in right here on your distribution block for the truck. So this is where you're going to add your trailer brake controller like I've got here. Any other sort of small accessories, I guess, would be added to this as you added them. DVD player, whatever, power and such can come from this block. On the Escalade, it has the same plug, same exact spot, but there's more wires coming out of it on the Escalade than there are in my truck, right? The body control module now is to communicate to the seats for the seat heaters and for the memory function. So we've got to add the wires that allow that communication to happen. What I've done so far, as you can see, a couple of them that I've added to my dirty, crusty old thing, is I have depinned the Cadillac connector, traced the wires to each seat for what I think I need, and then I'm going to repin the existing connector in my truck with those wires and then add those wires to this harness. In addition, my driver's seat connector, because it was here, I went ahead and added, you can see there are probably 6 or 7 extra wires coming off of this connector now. The pinks, the blues, the browns, all of that, I added them. So I unpinned this connector, unpinned the Cadillac seat connector, and repinned this one with the leads from the Cadillac one. So a lot of these wires you see here, one of them from the driver's seat goes up to the main box under the dash. The other 3 or 4 actually run over to the passenger seat. This is the passenger seat harness plug. So, same plug as the driver's side. It has some extra stuff coming out of it. So, this little group of blue and pink wires right here, these are the wires that go from the passenger seat to the driver's seat. I think there's some duplicates in here that I may have grabbed, but these wires make that jumper. I think it feeds control one way or the other, or that's just how they wired it. Some of this is confusing because there's a lot of the same color wire going everywhere under your seats. So, the orange wire, the blue, the green, and this little yellow are wires that you will need to add for your passenger seat power from the main plug under the dash that I just showed you. So, in depinning and pulling, taking all of that mess right there out and keeping just what goes to the passenger seat. Keep in mind, this was a Cadillac Escalade. It was fully loaded. The floor harness runs all your locks, your door locks, everything for the rear, the DVD player, like the whole deal, all that ran through here. So that's why I cut a bunch out. But in simplifying it to just what I need for the seat, I depinned the plug from the Cadillac that goes under the dash, and I'm left with the wires that are open pins, not in the plug. So the orange is your power. I don't really know what the blue and the green, and I think the yellow is for an airbag sensor, but all of these will just get plugged or pinned into my truck's existing connector to then run the Cadillac seat harness. So let's get that part done. and we should be good to go. And I'll show you kind of what wires exactly you need. The simplest part of this, guys, if you literally just want power seats and you don't care about the heated part, is each seat needs a power and a ground. So from this Cadillac harness, you could just go to a Cadillac Escalade in the junkyard, take the seats out, cut these harnesses off, and all you need to wire up, literally all of it, is this orange wire right here and this black wire right here are power and ground, and that's going to run your power seat. So if you don't want to deal with any of the heated stuff like I'm dealing with and probably overcomplicating this for it inevitably not to work, just power and ground. It'll make your power seats work. And honestly, I won't really be that disappointed if my passenger's heated seat doesn't work either, because I'll probably be driving most of the time. So that's the simple thing. Power and ground will run both your seats. They probably won't draw that much current, and as long as you're not running both powers and both grounds at the same time, it can literally be that simple. In addition to, you could just pin it out into the connector under the dash. So let me show you right here. This is the connector under the dash. This is the little grip part as we look at it from the back, okay, with the connector clip in at the bottom. Just imagine I had drawn it over here. So my truck existing had yellow, purple, and orange positive. The orange positive went to my driver's seat that didn't use it. The purple actually goes to the back of the truck. I don't really know what it's powering back there. The yellow goes to the airbag control module that's under the driver's seat. Moving over, same plug. I'm adding brown white, which goes to my driver's seat. I'm adding another orange positive right here, so just below the existing one. That goes to the passenger seat for its power. The blue and the green both go to the passenger seat, and then they both cross back over from the passenger seat to the driver's seat. And then the top yellow here, top left, I have to add a wire to my passenger seat from here. That's the only stuff that changes under the dash that I'm adding to my harness. So, like I said, very confident my power seats are going to work. Not super confident that the heater's going to work, but we're going to try.
I saw a problem. I tried to come up with a solution.
Check this out. Power seat, and it moves. Adjustable lumbar, the whole deal. The CaddyMAX is coming together. Look at that. Cadillac in the headrest. There's not a single Chevy badge left on this deal. And honestly, the gray on the black with the multi-shades of 50 shades of gray looks pretty good. Alright, I've got the driver's seat up on the table over here, fixing to take this thing apart, watching the seat shop how-to video, same place I got the covers from. Very well put together video. Just want to show you a little trick right here. Literally, like I mentioned earlier, if you just want to make your power seats move power, the seat shop requires the seat to be kind of in the middle and the bottom raised all the way up. So I hooked up to a little car battery right here, just to the power and the ground of the main connector. And as you can see, seat fully functional. So I just need to raise my seat bottom up. Alright, so just to give you guys a little bit of a look here, this is what this looks like all apart. Make sure you get all your plugs unplugged when you're taking the bottom seat pan off. That was probably the hardest part for me. I've got my foam over here, which is in actually pretty good shape. Not flattening out, not doing anything dumb. Maybe a little bit of wear on this side, you know. It was a Cadillac Escalade with 170,000 miles, so it did have some fart time in it, but this seat foam will be okay. You can get replacements of these foam pieces, like my old seats would have needed that. So, heated seat element, you can definitely see this looks like an old mattress. So these elements have these little copper wires in them. You can see the pattern here. You can see the copper wire on the new one. All these little burn marks are potential, or they are shorts. You can see right here where it's completely broken apart. Most likely that's probably the short. When these short out, they don't work, or they keep blowing your fuse. Mine didn't work on the driver's side in the Caddy, so this is my new one. Hopefully with the wiring plus the new seat element, everything works. So let's get this back together. Would you just look at that? Power seats all hooked up with the moment of truth. Also, I got the butt. Does the seat heater work? Gee willikers, gosh dang it. Oh, the passenger side. Maybe it's just a wiring thing. Nope. My seat heaters don't work. Alright, well, seats are in. It looks mighty like a whole bunch of different shades of gray in there, but that's okay. I'm not planning on leaving the leather exposed here, so I'm going to get some like gray, more rough and tough seat covers for these. Not really a darker gray, but just a gray to go on this, because it is still a work truck, the dually, the tow rig, to drive it everywhere with the big trailer. So really want this to be a little bit more durable than just leather. That, and then my dog won't scratch the leather up whenever she rides in it, so that's also a win. Aside from a few small bits, namely this piece of trim, which will honestly like probably never get put on there, but you know, I have it. So this is probably the part of the truck, aside from the Cadillac interior, that I honestly like the most. Cadillacs are a little bit pretentious, okay? And like, I was gonna put the whole entire Cadillac Escalade front end on this. The plastic bumper that looks sick and the big, terrible looking headlights and the grille and everything. Hauling the Escalade home and seeing it in my rearview mirror for the entirety of the like 3.5 hour ride that I had to go buy that Cadillac, I just could not get over the headlights. They're so atrocious. I couldn't do it. The Cat Eye front end is like the best front end ever, and ultimately it was the hood. The Cadillac hood is just, I love this like big aggressive hump in my HD Cat Eye hood. It just looks, it's the look. Like, this is the best look. So I opted to hunt down on eBay, and I found this stainless grill insert for a Cat Eye front end. So what it entails to put this in is you've got to cut the bar out of the center that has the bow tie. You trim the whole grill out, and this insert, it's all stainless, just goes in there, and it's got little tabs that mounts it from the back. Now, my grill is a cheapo eBay Cat Eye swap, you know, just cheap grill, right? This isn't an OEM GM grill, okay? And it was all banged up. So when I cut it apart, it literally like exploded into a million pieces, and the stainless piece is actually basically what's holding this together. And you can see some screws and some custom stuff to, like, you know, I just made it work, okay? When you're up close, you can see it. When you're back this far, it looks great. If I were to spend the money and buy a new grill and then cut the new grill, it would fit perfectly, but I just didn't want to deal with it. This is simply a front badge for like a Cadillac XTS or ATS or whatever SUV. It's not the ginormous like Cadillac Escalade badge. It's not the super small badge for the back. I liked the black one, but I think a chrome would equally look just as good. My whole goal was like, with the Cadillac dually Duramax 6-speed 2003 Silverado conversion, i.e. the only one in the world, my whole goal with the front end was I wanted somebody who sees it to be like, why does that have a Cadillac front end on it? So then I could show them the Cadillac interior and be like, if you can find a Chevy badge on it, then I'll put the Chevrolet front end back on it. But I don't have any Chevy badges on the truck, so it's the CaddyMAX now. But that is going to be the end of this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, seeing this thing transform. Comment below with any questions as far as doing the wiring and stuff like that. I think I overcomplicated it trying to make my heated seats work, and it might just be as simple as programming the body control module for the heated seats, which I'll look up and see if I can try that first. If that doesn't work, seat heater kit, heated seats work. But for now, I'm just stoked that I have super comfortable seats, power, both passenger and driver. Probably could have replaced the foam bottom in the driver's seat, but, you know. I'm planning on driving this truck, basically, until it falls apart, gets totaled. I don't plan on buying another truck. Building the CaddyMAX is effectively my way of not spending $70,000 on a truck that's only going to be worth half of that after I put 500,000 miles on it, towing a 2-car trailer all over the country to go to rally races. So that was what I wanted to do with this. Yes, the LB7 Duramax is not exactly the strongest horse in the stable as far as diesel, but I've towed my 2-car trailer a whole bunch of times from Nashville to Indiana. I've towed it to New Jersey to drop off the rally car. Behind this truck, it has a Bully Dog GT gauge tuner thing with, I leave it in the tow tune, and literally I parked this thing in 5th gear, pulled a hill in Pennsylvania for probably 15 minutes at 60 miles an hour with a 2-car trailer, completely pinned, like full throttle all the way to the floor, making 20 pounds of boost the whole time. Coolant temperatures, nothing changed. It just went right up the hill. So, to me, speed isn't exactly the biggest thing. It's reliability, and I think that now that I've done the injectors and am prepared to do injectors every couple of years, they're easy. Might as well just keep running this truck. So, if you guys have trucks similar and you want to follow along, definitely hit the subscribe button. I appreciate all of my fellow rotor heads. So I work on rotary cars mostly, race cars, do track stuff, rally cars. We're getting into piston engine stuff here soon, but I appreciate all the fellow rotor heads who watch this video and any new truck folks that are here for the Duramax stuff. So don't plan on selling this truck really ever. It's kind of a unicorn, being now the CaddyMAX, dually, 4-wheel drive, stick shift, Duramax, gray over red, gray interior. Like, we're just going to name off everything so that way it makes it one of a kind no matter what. But it's really kind of a unicorn truck, and I don't really want to sell it. I think it's going to be a great truck, even if I got to build engines and do clutches. And, you know, these old trucks, the new ones just get more complicated, and I don't want to deal with it. So, with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Keep it rad. See you in the next one. Man. Let me tell you, one way to make your garage look small: put an 8-foot bed, flat bed, dually with spacers and 33s in your shop. This makes the shop look small. 1 dually, 3 cars. You could like take this thing and just put it right where all 3 of those cars are. But man, I'm just stoked. It looks so much better than the crusty farm truck that it was whenever I bought it. You'll have to go back and watch the original video of buying this thing and doing the injectors and the headliner, and it's been a huge transformation. Peace, guys.